Hey, IDS 3, what is it, 302? Oh, I'm losing it. Welcome to Module 2, Video 2. I'm sorry this is late. I fully intended to get it out sooner, but as you can see, I'm dressed up and had someplace to go. So let's get right into it. I'm gonna put three links in the announcement that I'd like to share with you. One is from ASU News, and it's called Generation Z Sets Technical Boundaries at Work, Research Shows. This is pre-COVID research. It's very interesting because what I'm guessing is a lot of you are Gen Z, right? Some of you might be, what's before that, millennials? What happened to Gen Y, Gen X? I don't even know anymore. Yeah, I'm a baby boomer. Whatever, we thought we were something special. We're not. Okay, so I'm going to put that in there because I think it's interesting to see research. They did a survey, and remember we talked about quantitative, qualitative. It was a mixed methods, I believe, but it's very interesting, and it's something that I like to share with this class because research is important. I'm sorry, I'm shaking this thing. I got it balancing again on a candle. Hey, the other one is from the Association for Interdisciplinary Studies. I got this today. Nanotechnology, an interdisciplinary field at the forefront of combating the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm not sure. I usually get a number of students that choose AI as their topic. And not that nanotechnology is AI, but there's components, I'm sure, of artificial intelligence that have to go with nanotechnology. So it's an interesting one, and it's definitely an interdisciplinary field, and it's framed that way because this is the Association of Interdisciplinary Studies for Interdisciplinary Studies. And the third link I'm going to send you is exactly that, the interdisciplinarystudies.org. Now, typically in this module, you would have had an assignment called Pick One. And frankly, it's been such a lull this week that I should have included it and I didn't. So you lucked out. Next class, we'll have it put it back in, where I put in about 5 different types of articles, whatever it is, research, links, this or that. And I asked students to look at them all and then pick one to write about. You guys haven't had to do that, but I always noticed that the Association for Interdisciplinary Studies, which is one of the choices, is kind of popular for students, and many of them are happy that they have an association like this, that it gives you credibility also. I'm a member of it, of course, and anybody's welcome to join. In fact, as students, I think you can join either free or real cheap, and even after that, it's fairly cheap depending on income. But I'm going to provide that link because it's your field, right? Okay. Um, let's talk about the quiz now that that's done. Okay, about what is a discipline. Some of you were close, didn't get it. Some got it. Some took the long way there. I like to think of it, and while I say all this, of course, I asked you to use your own words. Okay, and that's just as opposed to copying, right? I mean, some of the answers look suspiciously like they came from somewhere, but don't worry, I didn't charge anybody with that. Um, in your own words is good, but the concepts. There's many ways to define a discipline. A discipline, you could say that it's something you can get a degree in. Remember that list of disciplines I gave you to look at and said thinking outside the box? Those are all disciplines. What is a discipline? Well, in the simplest terms, something you get a degree in, okay? But what is it actually, what makes up a discipline? And it's a very specific, you can call it a silo of learning, a box of academic whatever, and it has specific concepts, theories, specific ways about going about testing the information, researching the discipline. It's a very specific box. So this is why I had to ding some people who would put down natural sciences. Now that's like an overarching branch of different sciences like biology and maybe climatology and some natural sciences. It's not really a degree. Same with physical sciences. Same with a couple other broad terms that were put in. Uh, like humanities. I think you might be able to get a degree in humanities, but humanities is considered more of a overarching. You got the humanities, you got the sciences. That's kind of like the two main branches of academia, and then underneath them, they break out into different disciplines and such, okay? So discipline, I always like to think of it as a unique individual silo of learning, okay? It contains a specific parameters and borders. And that's where we're interdisciplinary. We're taking those borders out. We're allowing to cross over. Whereas if you were just a psychology student doing research in psychology, you can start bringing in a bunch of business theories and social studies theories. They want you to stay in your lane for psychology. But you're interdisciplinary, so you're breaking down those boundaries, okay? Um, Talking about the matching up on top, or naming some disciplines I put down, capitalized disciplines. Remember I said that? Capitalized disciplines. Some of you had just sent me Easter eggs that said capitalize your discipline, capitalize disciplines, and you didn't capitalize your examples of disciplines. So that was just kind of a slip of the mind you did, I'm sure, but still, I take it seriously. It is important. I'm a fanatic about it in this class because I want to know that you know that the disciplines are something else besides just the word. Like, business is a discipline you study at university, whereas you can run a business, you can see businesses all over the place. That's lowercase, right? Okay, so now let's talk about the matching. Um, I'll get to that later. I guess the third one was academic rigor. Many of you got it, some of you didn't. But and I'm going to use a dictionary here. I know it's not something that, but I just don't want to. I want to give. No, I want to give you the words that are found. I'm going to use the internet, I guess. Uh, Academic rigor refers to a certain standard of excellence that professors and administrators expect of their students. These standards are sometimes made clear to students through examples, instructions, and rubrics. Sometimes these standards are less defined. Okay, it means an intense higher level of critical thinking, thought-provoking questions. It's about digging deeper, and it's about, you could call it working harder, but there is, working harder and working efficiently and thinking about it at this high level of education, okay? It's like, don't go lower level. Don't go, real shallow with some of your answers. I expect academic rigor in this class, okay? And then what about the pyramid? Well, that's something that hopefully you were introduced to in 301, and if not, you got the introduction here in 302. And the pyramid is very important just to give you an idea. Of course, the most important one in the pyramid is interdisciplinary because that's what this is. I always kind of get taken aback by the amount of students that get that wrong in the matching. I mean, this is where you are, interdisciplinary. You really need to be comfortable knowing what it is and how you define it. And yes, it's the integration of two or more disciplines. Okay, remember the key, integration. I want that hardwired, interdisciplinary integration. Some of you chose multidisciplinary. Multidisciplinary is two or more disciplines. There is no integration. It's just two or more. It's multidisciplinary. It's quite different. You've got intradisciplinary, not to be mixed up with interdisciplinary. Intradisciplinary is one discipline, just one single discipline, that's it. Cross-disciplinary is more than one discipline, but you're seeing and analyzing one discipline through the eyes of another. As I said, the mathematics of music, right? That's when we look at mathematics of music. You're not doing side-by-side mathematics and music. You're looking at music through a lens of mathematics. That's cross-disciplinary. And then you've got transdisciplinary, which is at the top of the heap, and that is to go beyond. Trans is to go beyond. To go beyond the disciplines means to be problem or issue focused first, which drives the disciplines that are going to be used, but it also brings in stakeholders, brings in non-disciplinary. So if you're talking about terrorism, and you want to bring in experts in Homeland Security, academics, Homeland Security, Chamber of Commerce, if they're affected, in business sense, non-academic people, right? As I said before, just because it's a priest, rabbi, imam, pastor, does not mean they're religious studies academics. It means they got to their position somehow. It does not mean they're religious studies. Same with a politician. President, vice president, local politicians. Doesn't mean they're experts in political science. It means they became elected based on their, the race they ran, I guess, right? Okay, so those are important things. Easter egg number 1 then is academic rigor is important. Easter egg number 1 is academic rigor is important. Okay, so reminder on the readings. Tanner, chapter 4, critical thinking and epistemology, very important. Chapter 5, integrative learning, very important. Chapter 6, basic research methods, very important. Chapter 7, introduction to interdisciplinary research, also important. Pages per chapter 4, 7, 11, and 9. Really not that difficult. Okay, not that difficult at all. Let's just go with Easter egg number 2. The readings are important. Okay, Easter egg number 2. The readings are important. All right, let's talk about the second quiz that's coming up. I think it's due on Saturday. Remember, no late quizzes. Got to get it done today. Some people are doing them already. Features 30 multiple choice and true and false questions. True and false, multiple choice and true and false questions. 30 altogether. 2 points each, 60 points total. You have an hour to do it, 60 minutes. The test refers to the MEAT reading, which is the attachment, probably in Module 1, which is interdisciplinary, cross-disciplinary, multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary. It takes into consideration, it refers to chapters 1 through 5. Okay, so be ready to do that. It's due Saturday. Okay. Then due Sunday, we have step 1. Step 1. Now, this course is a literacy course. It's categorized as a literacy course, right? Literacy and critical inquiry. These are the emphasis on this course right here, okay? So literacy is the ability to read and write, of course. Critical thinking is the process of gathering and evaluating information, ideas, and assumptions from multiple perspectives to produce well-reasoned analysis and understanding, and leading to new ideas, applications, and questions. This is important. Step 1 is important. It's worth 100 points. That's a 10th of the class. It's a grade level. Okay, it's a grade level, 100 points. So remember, I expect to see work that's reflective of that by using legitimate sources to back up your claims and your background information and things. Okay, and to format and write correctly and use your own words. And this will be checked in plagiarism software. If I turn it in, I'll be able to get a percentage of your paper that is from some others. Okay. Remember, I'm offering the redo. Okay. If you get your work done best you can, not a crappy rough draft. I'm not going to write this for you. If you submit it, and I'm going to say this, by Saturday, before midnight Saturday, I will score it, and you can decide if you want to redo it. Okay? Anybody that submits it Sunday, I'm going to decide what to do. I may offer you a redo, but you're going to be charged a late penalty of 5% a day anyways. Okay? I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but I usually do like to offer the redo for the first paper because then you can see what I want in terms of the formatting, right? Now, I will also admit this to you. I am not going to be as meticulous about the formatting as I've been in the past. I'm learning to loosen up a little bit. However, if you just follow what you're seeing in the samples and such, you'll be able to get it correct. And for example, and I also changed the first sample. I've been a sample paper, sample 1. I have it right here. Open it up. It's not there, of course. Okay, let me open it up. I have a new sample 1. It was a real good job. And again, remember, this was in my course where it was only worth 50 points, okay? I'm giving you guys 100, so I expect it to be as good as this or better, okay? This is a two-page and 3 lines with 4 sources, government sources. Not a huge fan, but good enough to get started, okay? Good enough for this man to back up his work. I made a couple of changes to try to make it fit. No sample is perfect, no paper is perfect, and that's fine. I still give perfect grades on papers that aren't perfect, believe it or not. It depends on how not perfect it is. Take a look at it, statement of the problem, okay? It's about domestic terrorism, actually. He's got political extremism. But you can see the statement of the problem, the purpose of the study, the significance. Remember I said one yawn per video? Okay, I'm going to give you some tips here. If you're listening, paying attention, taking notes, because this is going to help you. The purpose of your study, be really clear on that, because remember that overarching question I had you do, what are some of the opinions, experiences, and perceptions regarding blank revealed in a survey of random adults? Okay, so the purpose of the study is then to gather some of the opinions, perceptions, and experiences, some of the opinions, perceptions, and experiences regarding blank, your topic, from a survey of random adults. Okay, the purpose of this data, achieving this data, will be to what? To obtain a snapshot of data that can be interpreted, can be disseminated, can be analyzed, articulated, okay, and can perhaps reveal some tendencies, some, each topic is different. But notice I'm using words like perhaps, it could, it should, it might, to stay away from definitives. This is going to prove that global warming is not a hoax. No, you can't prove anything. You're not going to prove anything. Just take it down a notch. Hyperbole does not get you anywhere. Okay, like I said, if you're going to come and say, I'm going to cure cancer in this class, no, you're not. Your study is not going to be published. Okay, it's not going to be seen by experts. It just isn't. That's the reality of it, and it's okay. I mean, did you think your book reports you did in 8th grade were going to be going to the New York Times book review? No, of course not. Doesn't mean you're offended or anything. Let's keep it real. Keeping it real is fine. I don't expect the hyperbole. I don't want hyperbole. Okay, so don't exaggerate. Don't use infinitives like always and never. Don't use like, okay, so that's the purpose of the study. Then you got the significance of the study. Well, the significance of your study then is going to be through this snapshot of data. The study hopes to add something, however incremental, to the body of knowledge in the field that looks at this issue, okay? The significance is not overwhelmingly large, but it does hope to add something to the conversation, right? So you don't overpromise, okay? And it's tricky. I agree, it's tricky, but you can do it. And then you want to do your works cited list. Now you'll notice the works cited list is done in hanging paragraph form. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's very easy to do, and you know what you're doing. Everything must be on a Word doc. So look at on the bottom of the submission page. I have a list of general things for work. Okay. How you doing there, Cubbies? So remember, Word doc only. Times New Roman 12-point font. Your name must be on the paper. I would prefer it in a running head. See what we did to this one here. Use a running head like that, okay? No cover page. I repeat, no cover page. No abstract. I repeat, no abstract. No table of contents. Not till the end. Extra bonus yawn. So sorry. Old men have to go to bed early when they have to eat dinner. Okay. Double line spaced. Paragraphs indented. Just tab it in once. It's fine. Okay. No pronouns. No I, me, or my. I should have made that an Easter egg. I will later. No I, no me, no my. Repeat after me. No I, no e, no my. No I, no me, no my. No pronouns. You keep yourself out of it. You're writing third person. Okay? No extra line spaces between paragraphs. Yes, you can do an extra line space between subsections. That's fine. Subsections should be in bold subheadings. In-text citations must be in APA format. Okay? Pretty simple what that is. It's, your in-text citation comes before the punctuation. If you put it after your punctuation, that means it's starting the next sentence. I know many of you are going to do this because you either just kind of don't think it's that big of a deal, but it is, right? Okay, and then in your, so read these. Then long quotes, 30 or more words, must be formatted different. So stay away from them. Don't even use 30 plus words. Okay? Quotes, all right? Works cited must be alphabetized. Works cited list must be alphabetized by last name. Needs to be in hanging paragraph format. Must be double line spaced with no extra spaces between entries. I can see where the entries are because the first line is going to be sticking out. Okay, all in-text citations in the paper must appear in the works cited list. All entries in the works cited list must appear in the as in-text citations. Fairly straightforward. Once you know this, you're not even thinking twice about it. You're just knowing that this is how you write a paper. This is called literacy at this level. All right. So take a look at that. I'm strongly encouraging, as I do every video, you can set up a call with me to discuss anything. If it's something from here, if it's something from the class, whatever might be confusing you, do not be feel any embarrassment or anything. Just set up a call with me, and we'll talk about this, and and then you'll be all straightened out. If it's about the pyramid, let's talk. If it's about step one, let's talk. Anything, okay? So I hope that I make that clear. We're at 21 minutes. Let's get out of here, all right? Easter egg number 3, formatting is important, okay? As you probably know by now. Formatting is important. All right, everybody. I say, what do I say? I say forks up. Peace.